Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Chanel and Alex shared a passionate kiss in bed while filming Body and Soul. Arrow kissed Faith passionately after she said she had been waiting a long time for this moment. Chanel and Alex were too engrossed in the moment to stop Johnny when he shouted, "Cut," when he entered the scene. In their bedroom, Johnny startled to wakefulness. He was with Chanel. Alex showed over at Stephanie's house with coffee, and Stephanie invited him inside. As he offered her the coffee and revealed that he had not slept much the previous night, Stephanie remembered her hot dream about Alex. He was anxious about the show and asked Stephanie for advice on how to bring up his concerns to the producers. Regarding filming a sexual scene with Chanel during the first week of the show, Alex expressed his misgivings. He thought that in order to keep the audience interested, the characters' first encounter, who were meant to be star-crossed lovers, should be postponed. Stephanie concurred with what Alex had said. She recommended that he and Chanel make their pitch to the producers jointly. Then Stephanie moved aside to take Jada's call. Alex noticed her nervous expression. Stephanie sobbed to Alex that Everett had been killed after hanging up the phone. After learning that Connie had killed Everett and stabbed Rafe, Stephanie lost her cool and informed Alex. Stephanie was shocked to learn that she had invited Everett's killer to his burial. She sobbed on Alex's shoulder, unable to stop her anguish from taking control. Stephanie urged Alex to attend his meeting even though Alex consoled her. Alex grudgingly departed, saying he would stop at nothing to help Stephanie if she needed him. When he was gone, she thanked him and started crying. Admire B&B, Days, General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right now, click this link. When Paulina opened the door to a knock, Chanel was there and inquired about using the shower. Paulina was perplexed, so Chanel clarified that the reason for the altercation between her and Johnny was Johnny's crazy envy of Alex. Chanel and Paulina sat down on the couch and made a list of all the terrible things Johnny had said to them during their fight. That Johnny didn't trust her infuriated her. Chanel was taken aback when Paulina expressed that she could relate to Johnny's emotions after she finished her tirade. Though Paulina reminded her daughter that Chanel did have a past with Alex, she agreed that she did not like Johnny's mistrust of Chanel. Paulina thought Johnny would see the sexual encounter as a situation that passes. Chanel emphasized that Johnny didn't need to worry about her since she was already married. Chanel was urged by Paulina to remind Johnny of that. The talk was cut off by another knock on the door, and Chanel was not pleased to see it was Johnny. Johnny appeared irritated that Chanel had left after just one altercation when he entered. Paulina gasped in shock, but Chanel soon explained that she and Johnny needed space, which was why they had come over to Paulina's. Johnny said he was sorry for being too dramatic. Chanel hesitated to forgive Johnny, but Paulina pushed her to give him a chance. Johnny expressed his heartfelt apologies, and Chanel promised to never again let his jealousy to overcome him before she would forgive him. Then Chanel told a sighing Johnny that Alex and she were heading to speak with Abe and Paulina on postponing the scheduled sex scene. Following Chanel's departure, Johnny confided in Paulina about his concerns, and she reassured him that Chanel had picked him. Later, Paulina received some business paperwork from Stephanie, who stopped by. The women talked about the conflict that existed between Johnny, Chanel, and Alex and hoped that they could resolve it. Abe and Kate were looking forward to the first day of production at Body and Soul's production office. Abe told Kate that one of the show's stars was the root of a problem that needed to be addressed. When Kate found out that the quarrel was being caused by Hattie and Bonnie, she rolled her eyes. After the women's wardrobe altercation, Kate growled and said she felt like she was making crazy ladies of the wrestling world. Hattie had given him a warning: either Bonnie left or she left, Abe continued. Abe declared that he and Kate would have to make a decision since he thought Hattie was sincere. Abe proposed that they terminate Bonnie, citing Hattie's character Charlemagne as the star of the show. Kate retaliated by pointing out that Abe's favorite character is Charlemagne. Abe accepted the statement, but insisted that the viewership numbers supported him. Kate concurred that on the first day of production, Bonnie and Hattie might cause major disturbances. Kate advised Abe to think about the consequences of caving in to Hattie's demands. The performers may all start clamoring for creative autonomy. Both Abe and Kate agreed that they needed to address the issue and that Kate's reasoning made sense. Later, at the production office, Alex greeted Kate. A harried Kate informed him they didn't have time, despite his want to wait for Chanel to discuss a suggested screenplay modification. Alex argued in favor of delaying his and Chanel's romantic scene when she inquired about his desires. Chanel showed up shortly after. When she discovered that Alex had spoken to Kate without her, she became irritable, but she supported Alex's request. Following their script, Alex, Robert Scott Wilson, and Chanel, Raven Bowens, responded. Following their script, Alex, Robert Scott Wilson, and Chanel, Raven Bowens, responded. Kate paid attention to Chanel and Alex's request. Hopefully, they inquired whether she had changed her mind when they were through. Later, Johnny entered the office while Chanel and Alex were worrying about the script. He figured they'd eliminate the romantic sequence. Reluctantly, Chanel told Johnny that throughout their argument, Kate had been reminded of the chemistry between Alex and Chanel. To Johnny's dismay, Chanel declared that the scene was still going to happen. Bonnie pounded on Leo's door with rage. Bonnie went inside and demanded her new pink pages after he responded wearing a robe covered in leopard print and lamented his lack of sleep. When an irate Leo informed Bonnie that he had not completed her script adjustments, Bonnie's rage increased. Bonnie said that Leo gave in to the pressure from his drag race partner Hattie. Leo explained that he had been advised not to alter the screenplay by his boss, Abe. And furious Bonnie refused to listen to Leo's pleas for her to stop whining and to be thankful for the chance. She softened, though, when Leo remarked that they were not afforded the luxury of numerous rewrites, as would be the case with a movie. Bonnie acknowledged that as a devoted reader of Soap Opera Digest, she was aware of the quick pace. Then Leo went on a rant about how Johnny wanted Faith's sex scene in Arrow rewritten. Johnny's ignorance of how viewers watched hot young people have mad, passionate sex and whisper schmaltzy little nothings in each other's ear was beyond Leo's comprehension. Bonnie expressed her sympathy to Johnny and told Leo once more that she wanted the modifications to be made. He led her out the door after telling her to discuss it with Abe. Later, Leo had to deal with Abe, another unwanted guest. Leo complained about having to listen to Bonnie's tirade and assured Abe that he had not caved into Bonnie's demands. When Abe disclosed that production wanted a revision to the script, just not the one Bonnie had expected, Leo was taken aback. Abe and Kate later crossed paths in Horton Town Square. Kate said that she had put out one fire for the day already. Having dispatched Leo to deliver Bonnie's new script, Abe was concerned about the following issue. Hattie, decked out in a tracksuit and curlers, was amazed at the Brady Pub's makeover in anticipation of the show. "We're gonna put on a real, live soap opera," she cried to Roman, throwing her hands in the air with excitement. Roman believed that the arrangement would work since his staff would be utilized as extras and would receive their full compensation. With a smile, Hattie explained that Abe had given her her own win. Roman and Hattie later read lines together. "Take me, thrust!" Charlemagne cried as the action came to a close. Roman commented on how hot the scene was, to which Hattie happily agreed. When Bonnie walked into the bar, Hattie's happy disposition vanished. When Hattie insisted on knowing what Bonnie was doing, Bonnie angrily pointed out that she was also employed on the stage. That was no longer the case, Hattie asserted, because she'd fired Bonnie. Bonnie was shocked that Hattie would attempt to terminate her employment. Roman tried to break up the argument between the two women. He was unable to persuade them both to see reason. Bonnie wondered if the papers were the requested script alterations when Leo showed up on the scene carrying them. Leo gave Bonnie the documents, informed her that adjustments had been made, and gently asked that she refrain from shooting the messenger. Bonnie's smile vanished as she perused the updated scripts. "You're killing me off?" she asked Leo incredulously. In the background, Hattie grinned.